Hello everyone. So today is day 30 of my series where throughout the month of October I thank God for something. So today I'll be mentioning 30 different things that I'm thankful for. And for tomorrow I actually have something special planned, but I want it to be a surprise. So tomorrow it will be different than the other ones, and hopefully you like well, I don't want to say twist, but rather a different approach I'll be taking. Anyway, let's get to this video. So, the first thing I want to mention is I'm thankful for gravity. Think about it. If there was no gravity on Earth, then we wouldn't be on Earth at all, because we'd just float off into space. So, yeah, I'm definitely thankful that we have gravity here. And on top of that, that we have the right amount of gravity. Because a lot less gravity, I mean, sure, it could be fun. We could jump much higher and all that, but ultimately, it would be quite inconvenient. Or a lot more gravity and we'd just be crushed. So that wouldn't be ideal either. So I'm thankful that we have just the amount of gravity on Earth that we have, because it's the perfect amount of gravity. The second thing I'm thankful for is the existence of different kinds of rocks, because there are just so many, and each rock serves a certain purpose. Each rock can be utilized for different things. So I'm thankful that there are so many different kinds of rocks. The third thing I'm thankful for is agriculture. Without agriculture, our society wouldn't be where it is right now. Because, sure, a long time ago, most people on Earth were just hunter-gatherer tribes. But through agriculture, settlements were developed, and more developments followed that led us to where we are. So I'm thankful for agriculture. I'm also thankful for potatoes. Potatoes are such a versatile crop, and what I learned about potatoes, first of all, there are 20 different amino acids that our body needs. And there is one crop that contains all of them. And in case you haven't guessed it, yes, that crop is the potato. So potatoes are very good for us, very healthy, and also very delicious. And you can prepare them in so many different ways. I mean, there's potato soup, potato salad, you can simply just cook it, you can make a baked potato, and so many more things. So, yeah, I'm definitely thankful for potatoes. I'm also thankful for salt. Basically, any recipe needs some form of salt. And we even put salt in cake, which is typically sweet, but a little bit of salt is good for the dough. And salt is very important. I mean, it's not just that it gives a better flavor to any food it's in. It was also for a long time used to preserve food. I mean, sure, nowadays we have freezers, which make it much easier to preserve food for a long time, but not every food can be frozen. But salt was also used to preserve food and is still used today. And so I'm definitely thankful for salt. I'm also thankful for flavor. I mean, sure, we eat in order not to starve, but eating and also drinking without flavor, I'm not sure what that would be like, because flavor just makes it so much better. Try to think about it. What if every food you ate from now on was just bland, had no flavor at all? It would be boring, right? So I'm thankful for flavor. I'm also thankful for melted food. Now, I'm not talking about melted ice cream or anything, although that could just turn into a milkshake, so. But what I'm talking about is food that either contains melted cheese or melted chocolate. Well, please not both at the same time, that would be weird, but yeah, melted food is just. It's delicious. I'm also thankful for animals. Where would we be if we didn't have any animals? First of all, so many developments were only possible because we had animals at our disposal. And on top of that, many different animals provide us with so many delicious food. And I'm not just talking about meat, but for example, if we didn't have cows, we wouldn't have milk. We also wouldn't have leather, but well, we are not going to eat leather. Still, leather is pretty useful. Without chickens, we wouldn't have eggs. And so many more. Also, especially insects are used to fertilize crops. So, yeah, if we didn't have any animals, life would be very different. I'm also thankful for repairs. Think about it. Every time something broke, it's so much more useful to be able to either repair it yourself or let it be repaired by a professional, because otherwise, every time something broke, you'd have to replace it with a new one, and that would just be, first of all, it would be wasteful and also kind of expensive, or very expensive in some cases. So I'm thankful for repairs. I'm also thankful for keyboards. Keyboards just make writing so much easier. Sure, there were typewriters, but typewriters had the huge disadvantage that if you typed something wrong, you'd have to retype everything, because you couldn't just delete what you just typed, but on keyboards, well, that's easy. So, yeah, I'm thankful for keyboards. I'm also thankful for calendars. To know the date, well, It's quite useful, and the calendar enables us to do just that. I'm also thankful for the existence of different landscapes. There are so many different landscapes in this world. Like, I'm talking forests, plains, deserts, mountains, and so many more. And all these different landscapes, all that diversity, that variety, I'm very thankful for that. I'm also thankful to be able to know the news, know what's going on around the world. And sure, news can be sometimes quite disheartening, but to know what's going on is just, well, you know how to react to something. You're aware of things going on and have the ability to react to that in some way. So I'm thankful for news. I'm also thankful for the existence of different kinds of lenses. And I'm talking about pretty much any kind of lens. For example, a magnifying glass uses a lens. A microscope, same. Glasses or contact lenses, I mean, they are called lenses, so. Or a camera, and there's just so much that's possible because of all those lenses. So I'm thankful for them. I'm also thankful for life being a journey. In a journey, sure, you might get a setback, but you can move on from that. Just keep going. Even if sometimes it's difficult, but life being a journey, I think that's amazing. I'm also thankful for different kinds of safety regulations. For example, in case there's a fire that breaks out, or guardrails, or, well, anything that's intended to keep us safe. And I'm very thankful for that. I'm also thankful for silence. Sometimes all you need is silence. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for courage. Courage, well, if there never had been anyone courageous, if I didn't have the courage to just make these videos, talk about things that are important for me, and especially talk about Jesus, life would be empty without courage. I'm also thankful for understanding how things work, understanding in general other people, different subjects. It's very important to be able to understand things. What I'm also thankful for is that I'm able to explain different things. And yeah, being able to explain, well, if no one could explain, no one could learn. So I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for people who fight without violence. Because in many cases, violence only leads to more violence, which in turn leads to more violence. And, well, how do you break that cycle? By still fighting it, but non-violently. So I'm thankful for all those people who have fought, but without violence. I'm also thankful for being able to reflect on things and possibly change your outlook on something. Because otherwise, we'd be stuck in the same way of thinking without being able to learn. I'm also thankful for balance. And I mean any kind of balance. Sure, the most obvious of those is being able to just walk, because if we didn't have any balance, we would fall over and over again. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful for balance. I'm also thankful for people who are truly passionate about their jobs, especially the ones that help a lot of people. Because, sure, when we think of doctors or lawyers or bankers or, well, any kind of job that has the reputation of being high paying, many times we tend to think that those people just do it for the money. And sure, those people certainly exist who do a high paying job just for the money. But there are people who are truly passionate about those kinds of jobs, who don't do it for the money, but in order to help people. And I'm thankful for those people to exist. I'm also thankful for anything that has a deeper meaning to it, and being able to discover those deeper meanings. There are just so many things that can and do have a deeper meaning, which, yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm also thankful for free will, being able to choose, because, frankly, in any situation we're in, we always have a choice. And I'm thankful for that. I'm even more thankful for worship, being able to worship God. Well, whenever I worship, I can't help but smile. I can't help but feeling more whole, more happy, and being able to worship our amazing Creator, well, it's just one of the most amazing things in life, if not the most amazing thing. And I'm thankful for being able to accept God's guidance, to accept that He truly knows best. Because, let's face it, sometimes God tells us no, but that no is meant to protect us. Because let's suppose you're driving somewhere and there are two different routes you could take. Now, you would take the first route, but for some reason, the road there is blocked. So you obviously decide to take the second route. Later on, you discover on the first route you would have had to cross a bridge, but that bridge was broken down. So you wouldn't have been able to go there. Or there would have been a horrible accident you would have gotten into if you had taken that first route. And then, well, pretty sure you'd be thankful to have avoided that. And that's exactly what a no from God does. It protects us from something that might have harmed us or harmed someone we care about. And when we later learn of that, we're thankful. Of course we are. I'm also thankful that God knows the perfect time for everything. Think about it like if you bake a cake, the recipe says that that cake needs to be in the oven for 55 minutes. Yeah, I know a specific time, but sometimes it is like that. The cake needs to be in the oven for exactly 55 minutes at a certain temperature. So, of course, you set the oven to that temperature and keep it in the oven for 55 minutes. And afterward, the cake turns out great. Some might have thought, I'll put it in at double the temperature and half the time. Yeah, no, that's not happening. Because then the outside of the cake will be burned, but the inside won't have been baked through, so God always knows the perfect time for something, for anything really, and I'm thankful for that. And lastly, I'm thankful that God is eternal and outside of time. So that way, that is the reason why he knows the perfect time for everything. When you watch from the outside, you see it so much more clearly. God being eternal and outside of time, he knows when is the best moment for something to happen. And he can choose that perfect moment. So I'm very thankful for that. Now it's your turn. Please share in the comments what you are thankful for. Of course, you can share 30 things, but you don't have to. Even if you share just one thing, I want to know that one thing that you want to share. God bless you.